All right. Hello, everyone. This is Vault Companions, Mass Effect Warp, Episode 6. Uh, we are playing the unofficial D&D 5th Edition homebrew for Mass Effect. My name is Patrick. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be your GM today. And I will go ahead and throw it over to Calvin.
Okay, hey everyone, my name's Calvin, and I'm playing the kick-ass Krogan Berr, and me and my character both use he, him pronouns.
Let's go on over to Aubrey.
Hello, I'm Aubrey, and I will be playing Neveah, Nev, Helscus, your local Turian engineer, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Cool. Let's go to Derryk.
Hello, I'm Derryk. I use they, ze, and he pronouns, and I'll be playing Saro Miat, our Drell sniper, who uses they, he pronouns.
Right. And top it off with JPG.
Hi everyone, I'm JPG. I am playing Ikade'Sung vs Torero, who is our Quarian. Just real go-getter. And both of our pronouns are he, him.
All right. Let's go ahead. I'd like to remind everyone watching that we have a tip jar to support our wonderful cast here and the magnificent efforts that they are making. If you want to donate, throw $1 our way. We'll show you our deepest gratitude. $3 will buy an Omnigel inspiration. $5 will buy a Metagel, which is a Bardic, and all of that can be donated on our Ko-fi site, kofi.com/vaultcompanions. Content warnings. Mass Effect is set in a sci-fi future in the midst of war. Please enjoy responsibly. Content warnings for the episode may include fantasy violence, harm to loved ones, substance use, body horror, monsters and monstrosities, guns, societal collapse, characters in crisis after traumatic experiences both recent and in the past. And with that, let's kick things off. Last we left, our heroes were on Erszbat, a Batarian colony that was in the midst of war. The Reapers had shown a strong invasion force, and while Saro and Nev went for a more subterfuge and crafty kind of entrance, Berr and Ikade chose a different kind of way into the city with a tank. And once they had thoroughly ground rubber, they were stopped by the local Batarian Resistance and relieved of their tank. We return there now in the subterranean highway that you were walking through with the other Batarians. You traveled along subterranean highway at a casual clip, following the Mako, which used to be yours. The Batarians are not so stoic and cool. They're actually like cracking jokes, but it's kind of a bit like gallows humor. Some of them are recounting the ways that they are probably going to be torn apart this day. There's the slight like shake and tremor of the world above. Like you can see, like you can hear like the boom as things above you are concealed from you, but are clearly engaging with each other as you still power along. And as you're moving forward, the leader of the Batarians, Danim Godrell, steps out in front of the group and raises her right hand, three fingers extended, two brought down, and you feel a hush go over the Batarians as they all start echoing that exact movement. And she waits for the kind of hollowness of the underground to kind of like fade away, and you hear, and she steps up. Reports topside are not good. Expect immediate hostilities. We don't have the firepower, so don't waste time on the horde. When you see a cannibal, take it out. It's the only mercy we can give. We're making our way to the museum. Now, everyone, be careful. And with that kind of note of camaraderie, the rest of the Batarians kind of like pound their armor real quick and start moving. As you're moving along, Ikade and Berr, is there anything that you would want to do?
Hey, Burr, so like, let's take a little bit of like stock in what's happening right now.
Yep.
Okay, so like the Mako, right? That's just like not ours anymore.
Seems they're gonna need it.
Okay, so like, who's going to explain that to everybody else on the ship?
We'll just tell them it blew up. A lot of
Cool.
things exploded
Okay,
around
cool. So everything blew up. We're good. Okay. Definitely on the same page on this one. Okay. What about like us getting, or like them getting us to the museum so we can, you know, like complete like our secret mission and everything, right? Like, what are like? I mean, like, because I know that you had given them the ability to like maybe join forces and like maybe we could have like a small Batarian army, because I was trying to call you like Captain Burr and all that stuff, Commander Burr.
I did notice that.
That feels good. That feels good, right?
Feels pretty good.
Okay, so like, so that should be the plan at this point. Just like, just trick all these like super brave, strong Batarians into like making sure that we have like a small army, right?
Well, I think they're a bit more interested in defending what's left of their home, but they are going to get us to this museum.
So what if this was like a two needs with one deed scenario, right? Where like, if we can do something to make sure that the planet is cool, then like we can be like, oh hey, we're in trouble, and they're like, oh, we're coming, or something, you know?
That does sound like it would be a pretty damn heroic moment for them, but I'm not sure what else we have to give at the moment.
Okay. You know, just forget it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Like, you know, museum first, then like, you know, like grand plan, small army, like second, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Captain's orders and all that.
Or it could be commander's orders, and he does the finger guns, and he like, he just like, he kind of just backs up into the crowd of Batarians.
Yeah. Commander.
As you kind of progress along, you feel like the subterranean tunnel starts to like rise a bit, and you can see sunlight at the end of the tunnel. And you can also start to hear some of the things that were shielded from you before. Like you're hearing the artillery strikes, you're hearing the explosions, you're hearing all of this from the far end of the tunnel. And you can see the Batarians all getting like rallied and ready to go. The Mako, like you hear it rev its engine and like really kick things, like it kicks into gear and charges ahead for you guys. But the Batarians quickly start running as well. And as you all rush up the ramp up into the city, the battle fully like engulfs you again. Like you see the streets are still full of these like monstrosities crawling around. There's still like the buildings have gunfire coming down from them, firing into the streets. Active combat is still going on. But before you can find like a position for yourself, before you can fully kind of collect yourself within where you are, an enormous leg the size of an apartment block comes down right in front of you. I'm going to need both of you to make a DC 14 athletics check.
I thought you said this was the episode we go to Target. Not how we are the Target.
If I tie, does tie go to runner?
Tie goes to runner.
Okay, so I got a 14.
Okay,
I got a 13.
Oh, so Ikade, you actually see like something in the. You feel like kind of a tingle on the back of your neck, and you feel like almost like a cooling in temperature as a shadow looms over you, and you have just that split moment of like the presence of mind to roll out of the way as that enormous foot just comes like stomping down. Berr, you actually recognize the danger coming on as well, but before you can fully internalize just what could be happening, this just massive shadow kind of engulfs you, and then this huge metallic foot just pounds into the ground right in front of you, showering you with debris, and a cloud of dust comes up in your face. You are actually going to take you take 18 damage.
Did our shields recharge?
They did.
Okay. Alright, so shields ate most of that.
Okay. And as you kind of like, the hit just kind of like concussive force just hits your body and sends you to the ground. And you have, after a moment of just kind of like tumbling, you're able to look up and see this metallic thing that is practically a mile high as it stomps through the city. All gunfire from the buildings stops aiming at the streets, and instead you see tracer rounds firing up at this huge, immense, squid-like looking creature as it continues, each leg mechanically like raising up just, and then stomping down with the force of a bomb. It hits the city with this thundering impact every single time. And you watch as a Reaper just stomps by you through the city without being stopped by anything in its way. The Batarians around you all frantically go for firing positions, and the Mako, you see it zoom off and start making firing shots at the Reaper. Is there anything you'd like to do?
It doesn't happen to be heading museum words, does it?
You know what? Give me a luck check. We'll say over 10 or under is bad.
Okay, so just okay.
Okay, but does Berr get to add that +5 for the love, because of the love of friendship, right? Because of the power of friendship.
Unfortunately, the love of friendship does not really affect Reapers.
Okay. I just want to let the audience know that I tried. Okay, I tried to sneak in the power of friendship.
I saw that coming. I saw the Reaper no stamp coming.
It bounced around a bit, but it landed on a 14.
Okay. You see like this Reaper just like stomping through the city. The Batarians all frantically disperse, and Danim comes up to you, grabs you by like your armor and pulls you in close. She's not doing it aggressively because she's like trying to fight you. She just pulls you in close because the roar of everything happening around you is deafening. And in your ear, she just shouts, "The museum! It's down that road. You're going to continue until you start to hit until you hit the metropolitan district. You're gonna have to go your own from here. I I can't take you." And is going to push away from you and immediately start trying to follow in the steps of the Reaper, um, firing shots that are just not really impactful at all. But I think Burr, you kind of recognize when someone is firing a weapon not because it is impactful, but because it's cathartic.
Yeah, he understands that plenty well, and he is going to grab Ikade very roughly and start heading towards the museum. There's not really time to say a proper goodbye, but he he just looks back at Danum as he heads off, and I'm sure she's very focused on the task at hand.
Yeah. And as you watch the Batarians like all charge off and like into this war-torn city, you see Danum hold up her hand one more time with the three-finger salute, and you see a couple of Batarians return it as they kind of charge into battle under that banner. I'll also say because Danum forcibly used your Omni tool for you, you also are able, you got contact information uploaded into your Omni tool. So you can continue to talk to the Batarians over your Omni tool.
Okay.
But you guys charge through the city. I'm either going to need you guys to make a group stealth check or a survival check.
Ooh.
I'll say the stealth check is lower, but
Stealth check is lower, but I do have disadvantage in stealth.
Oh, same.
So it's up to you. Stealth or survival?
I'll go with survival.
Yeah, my survival's a +5, so I feel like that's the better one, right? Do we both roll for this one?
Yeah, both of you.
Okay, that's a 23.
For survival, that's a 16 total.
Okay. You both make the check. You're charging through. You unfortunately don't have the protection of an armored vehicle, but Ikade, you have the presence of mind to like. You as a Quarian are always aware of the dangers of a situation because it could be the slightest tear could be fatal. So you are leading Burr through, and Burr's just kind of taking your lead on where you're charging to because Burr might be the one that can get you through a gunfight, but you're the one who knows how to survive through adversity. So the two of you are charging, taking cover in buildings. You can see, like, you can even look back at the Reaper as it, like, walks further into the city, and you see it, like, knocking over buildings and being, you see rockets being fired at it. But the Reapers in front of you are still kind of like of a single-mindedness of just attacking anything in front of them. So you like dodge from building to building, and eventually you come to a district that like the Reapers thin, and there's less presence of like actual wars. There's less of a war zone going around, and more civilization. And those messages that played on your Omni tool from before, the statewide messages where they were demanding compliance. You see screens overhead where there would be usually be like advertisements or vital state information, but they're blaring this message on repeat. about complying and welcoming the intruders. But you all are just charging through. You did not make a stealth check, so you can see there are Batarian citizens that clock you from the windows. But
Like
you
armed Batarian citizens? Or like Batarian citizens that look like they're gonna shoot at us, or
I'll say because you got high enough on the survival check that these are just non-combatants, but you can tell that you've been made. Your presence in the city is now going to be like passed up the chain, so you have probably a limited amount of time before state forces respond. But you charge through and you see that like stately building come into view. Your Omnitool confirms it's the museum. And as it comes into view, we're going to cut to interior of the museum to Nev and Saro as you quickly, Saro grabbing Nev and pulling you, both of you, out of the artifacts room as gunfire erupts, narrowly missing the turrets. And the two of you now are in the museum, just kind of the museum proper at this point. What would you like to do?
I'm feeling a little paranoid right now. I want to get out of here.
I think that is a good idea.
So I'm going to double time it towards the exit.
Yeah.
Same.
Give me a just a flat dex to see kind of like you are being pursued, but it's not. We'll see how well you do.
Oh fuck. That's a 1. That's a 3 total.
Dirty 20.
All right. Well, it is a 1. So,
is there anything I can do to help? Oh no.
I don't think there is. As you're running, I'm gonna.
Okay, I do got a question.
Yes.
I have the power decoy. Can I use that to do it to help Nev and give her a reroll?
I'll tell you what. What it will do is it'll half the damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Saro, you see, like you are hyper aware of your surroundings, and you hear the Cerberus assault troopers stomp around the corner, and they have their like trigger fingers are already pulling before they even have a target reticule, and they're just throwing like bullets your way. You're a crafty assassin. Nev is just an engineer.
Yeah, I've had to make escapes before. I know what to do.
And don't forget a wonderful lady.
Absolutely. Nev, you take 25 piercing damage, halved to 12. Remember, your shields regenerated.
Yep. And because I took damage, I'm going to use the capacitor helmet that I have and immediately regen the shields.
Awesome.
I can do it once per short rest.
Yeah, like you before like it even registers the impact, the capacitor helmet kind of like reads the feedback loop of like, oh no, danger. And you feel your kinetic barriers immediately kick back in for I'll say yeah, it'll still be the 12 damage.
12.
But
But my shields will be instantly back up rather than having to wait around.
Yes. So, Saro, you kick up that decoy, and some of suddenly the assault troopers are aiming at 3 targets instead of 2. So you did pull some of the damage from Nev as you watch your decoy just get shredded. Or how many HP does your decoy have?
So it does not say HP. But are any of them within 4 meters of the decoy?
No, because you kind of put the decoy up around
That's
you.
fine.
So okay.
Well, I don't. It doesn't say health.
I think decoys and holograms have 1 HP, and when they're hit, they have a high AC, but when they're hit, they dispel, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah. So it moves. So what it says is it moves with me. It moves with me and mimics my actions.
Oh, okay.
And each time a creature targets you with an attack during the power's duration, it must make a perception check to find the real one. So it's basically like mirror image.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind. In that case, yeah, it's still up. It just fired, and it was able to pull some of the rounds from Nev. You are. I'm gonna give you, because you can see that there was 3 assault troopers and a centurion, and they're charging you. You can see that one of them is getting ready to huck a grenade. So, is there any actions you want to do before they get this grenade tossed in your direction?
Yeah, I will use another power. I'll neural shock them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They need to make a charisma check DC 13.
Ooh.
Please don't be the session that you start rolling hot.
DC 13?
Uh-huh.
All right. The Centurion and one of the assault troopers make it. The other 2 do not. So what is the effect if they make it?
If they make it, nothing. If they fail, they have disadvantage on melee and ranged attack rolls and can't take reactions until the end of their next turn. They are also paralyzed if they fail, and they take 2d6 psychic damage.
All right. The
They
assault
take
trooper that
12 damage, by the way. I rolled 2 6s.
nice. The assault trooper that was holding the grenade, you see, just kind of like jerks in place, and before they can actually activate the grenade, they just thump to the ground, the grenade rolling out of their grasp. Nev, is there anything you want to do on your turn?
I am going to burst fire with the M12 Locust at them.
Go for it. They're in a tight grouping, so you should be able to get all of them.
Yep. So with burst fire, it says it's a little bit different. Instead of me making an attack roll, they need to make a dexterity save.
That's true. Okay. And since 2 of them are already paralyzed, they failed the dex save.
Ooh, that went really well together without even thinking about it.
Yeah. It's a 12, I think.
Well, I have some good news. I rolled a 1 and a 9. So the other 2 just feel a shower of bullets as you spray them down. So they all fail their dex saves. So what was it? It was like 2d8 of damage or something like that.
3d4 plus 2. And I
Okay.
rolled and I got almost max damage.
Awesome.
So it'll be 13 damage total.
Fantastic. Okay. I'm just gonna do a quick check right here. Okay. Yeah. You see the assault trooper that got these two assault troopers that got paralyzed immediately wasted. Like you can only get paralyzed and then shot so many times before you just give up the ghost. However, you're still being pursued by the Centurion and one more assault trooper, and they're going to make a quick attack to get at you. Ooh, and they rolled a 6, so that's where I'm at today.
My wish came true.
And the other one rolled an 11. So, you guys are running out of the museum, and like the bullets are just whizzing by your head. You guys exit the museum under a hail of gunfire, and you see Berr and Ikade running in the opposite direction toward you guys. Both of you escaping gunfire.
How to exit? How to exit? How to exit? How to exit?
Oh, I was
We have
no,
to go.
hot entrance, hot entrance, hot entrance.
We have
No.
no.
You just see both of us are like, no.
We need
Am
to
I-
go.
It's all bad everywhere.
Yeah,
Help, it's again.
as you guys step out into the cityscape, you hear that the war zone has kind of encroached into your area. Like, it's not here yet, but you are hearing the sounds of war where before you heard just a quiet city. Ikade and Berr, you are hearing the clatter of gunfire coming out of the museum. So clearly they're leaving a bad situation too. And go ahead and give me a perception check, anyone who wants to.
Gosh.
I'm helping with a 10.
14.
25.
Ooh, not good. 6.
I'm the
Okay.
eyes of this place.
Ikade and Berr, man, you two were just running. Like your senses are not engaged in anything periphery. You are simply like, what's in front of me? What's dangerous? Where can I go? Nev, you are kind of like bouncing around with this information in your head. You have kind of like this. It's kind of when you've had too much caffeine, where your brain just starts seeking connections to things that maybe aren't even there, but it's just wildly trying to like get this information and mean something. The Cerberus is looking for who's owned Reaper artifacts, like specifically the chain of ownership, what they've like been doing with it, how long they've owned. Why would they be looking for specific ownership? And that kind of like occupies your brain. Saro, you are an expert of, hey, where is the danger coming from? And you are very aware that the war zone isn't here, but you can see, you can tell when state authorities are going to be involved in a situation. Like you can see the scene, you can see when people are like being possibly moved back to place up a like quarantine or barricade, when there's going to be like when you're going to be cut off, or when there's going to be like air support or that kind of thing. So you have a rapidly closing window.
Is that Cerberus vehicle still there?
No, it took off. It's gone.
Yeah, I'm calling in. Who the fuck flew us down to the surface? It was one of the three dipshits.
One of the brothers. Hold on, let me try
It
and
was
find
Cavis?
out.
Cavis?
Yeah, I think it was Cavis.
Yeah, Omnitool's out, calling him. Hot exit now.
You hear Cavis get on line. He's like, fucking what? I had to fly down through a Reaper? What the fuck did you guys do?
We didn't do it. We didn't do it.
In our defense, the Reapers were already here.
It was like this when we got here.
Also,
Exactly.
they blew up our Mako.
You lost a Mako?
They did what?
Like, I'm sure we could find the pieces.
No, we'll get on the ship and we'll talk about it.
Well, at least it'll be lighter without the Mako. All right, I'm coming down as quick as I can.
Make it fast.
See, hey, if there's anything you can do to provide me cover, now would be the time to do it.
I have a sniper rifle. What do you want me to do?
He cuts transmission, and you can see, like, on your Omni tools that he's incoming signal. You have, like, just like a moment as kind of like the scene around you gets quiet, like something taking a breath.
Oh God, the pregnant pause.
Is there anything anyone would like to do in this moment before we continue?
How is everybody looking physically? Like we need some help.
I could use some.
I'm doing good. I didn't get hit by nothing.
I think I got rocked pretty hard by something.
I
do have 48 HP left.
It was a whole building.
I have 22 out of 39 HP.
Well, if I only have a moment, I will use a Unity again to give us all some health.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and it's you roll for it, or
It's 1d6 plus 4, but it's for all of us.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's 7. So we all get 7 health back. It's something.
Yeah, you feel like you deploy the nanobots, and they engage, like a kind of cloud swarms out and engages with each of your Omni tools, and kind of like activates your internal regulators to suss out like any internal hemorrhaging, anything like that, and you just kind of feel like it applies like a stimulant just to kind of get you kind of moving and not as bruised.
I'm
going to first aid myself to get myself even higher with health.
Berr is just gonna ready his SMG. And he's also wondering, what the hell happened in there?
What was your first aid? And did you use Metagel with that, or did you just use first aid?
I have the first aid. I have the first aid power, which it did exactly how much I needed, because I don't. It's usually a D8, but I have an advancement that makes it a D12 plus 2.
Nice. Okay.
I have full health now.
You do some like last minute, like just get yourself to the door kind of things. You hear the swoop of the engine from up above, but you also hear like loud,
oh God,
like loud laser fire. Like this is a like huge amount of energy being fired through the air, and you see the dropship coming in, and a beam like cuts right over its bow, and it comes speeding in. It like skids to a stop. These things do not have wheels, and yet it seems to have left like a like rubber on. It literally like slides across to you. The door flies open. Cavis leans out from the pilot seat and is like, "We doing this now? Come on, come on, come on!"
We jump in. I'm
Yeah.
jumping in. Yeah.
You all pile in. The doors slam shut as you feel the inertial dampeners kick in, and you bump off the surface. You're airborne, and not a moment too soon, because you can see state-aligned forces moving down the streets. Soldiers being deployed against you instead of the war zone that is just a few blocks down. Um, I'm gonna have actually Cavis make a roll for piloting. Hey,
I don't like
he
this.
rolled. He may have rolled a 2. I'm gonna need all of you to make a Constitution save.
Oh my.
Well,
Oh,
it's a
no.
Hanukkah miracle.
Oh, thank God, an 18.
Okay.
Oh, well, 10.
Nice.
17.
I got a 4.
No!
My God.
Get new
Okay.
dice!
My con is a -1, so
Mine's a +1. I understand. I have a low con too.
All of you who failed, you take 6 bludgeoning damage as uh, a rocket flies through the air and hits the dropship, that like sends it like careening through the air. And whoever made the save, you take half damage, three bludgeoning, and I'll say anyone who failed also has disadvantage on their next roll. As you see him like struggling to try and find space that he's rapidly losing as anti-air measures are being deployed against just your dropship. And he's like, okay, whatever you did was not good, because they're not happy with us. And you're gaining
I
elevation. Yeah.
I so badly want to jump in the seat and drive for him because I don't trust him now.
He's at the wheel, but you have the ability to do. Whoa, wait, did you make your save?
I did.
Okay, so you would not have a disadvantage. You guys are rocketing upward, and as you gain elevation, you top over the buildings, and you can see the Reaper just a mile high, stomping through the city. Unfortunately, it's a lot closer than when you left it. And we're going to make.
I'm
Go ahead and make an
stressed.
attack. Let's see, where are we? Okay, so this Reaper does a hell of a lot of damage. I am going to have Cavis try and do a maneuvering check. If there's anything anyone would like to do to help, now would be the time to do it.
Um,
I mean,
I
I
have.
have vehicle handling.
Yeah.
I mean, if you'd like to take over, or if you want to provide the help action, or however you want to play
I'll
this.
provide the help action.
Yeah.
Okay.
what if?
Yeah. I can't wait to hear where this goes.
Okay.
scared.
Its mass yourself to its location. Okay. Okay. Theoretically, could this ship, if run into the Reaper itself, could it take it down?
No.
Okay. Then never mind.
I will say that with some extraordinary rolls, you could cause disruption for the Reaper.
Okay, I have an idea that I've cooked.
Okay.
It's a maneuver, not really to cause damage. Would it be crazy to fly at the Reaper and at the last moment curve up to fly up the Reaper so that it can't shoot at us?
Oh, so you kind of like you want to like charge it in a way that you kind of mitigate its range, and then once it can't it can't fire on itself, then
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. This will be a fairly difficult maneuver. Do you have air vehicle proficiency?
I do not. I have Starship System weapons and Starship Systems navigation.
All right. Then would you like to provide the help action?
Yes, 100%.
So you know how I've been carrying around that little piece of Reaper tech this whole time?
Let's talk about it.
We don't have to talk about it right now. But I've been carrying this around this whole time. And theoretically, with using the invasion power kind of coupled with this Reaper tech, could I attempt to use that on the Reaper to scramble its systems?
I love it. You essentially would be using like indoctrination against itself, because all Reaper tech has the same frequency that it emits. So you're kind of like piggybacking on this frequency to send it back to itself. You have a thing that can be a transmitter. It's Reaper tech. It's the thing it's made out of. Go ahead. What is your spellcasting intelligence?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a. You know what? I'll allow this to be hacking. This can be an electronics roll.
Electronics roll? Ah, man. I really should have made like electronics my like super special thing, because it's engineering and I have a +10 to engineering. I don't think I've ever rolled my engineering.
Wait, what's your electronics score?
It's like a 6.
I have a +8 if you want to let me in on what you're doing.
No, I'm very paranoid right now.
Okay.
That's the tragedy of indoctrination.
Fair. Just letting you know the option was there.
But I have just one more thing. I have Turian accuracy. I'm not getting advantage, so that actually doesn't count. That just allows me, if I have advantage, to re-roll one of the dice again. But that's good. That is a 21.
You've spent so much time with this piece of Reaper tech, very close to you, that you kind of have like a feel for it. You kind of have like a subliminal knowledge of that feeling it provides you. The unfortunate thing is that in order to send the signal, you have to pull the Reaper tech out into the open, revealing itself to everyone. And also, hey everyone, go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Oh no.
God, no.
Wait, oh,
Wisdom
wisdom check?
save?
Like a
Wisdom
saving
save.
throw?
Yeah.
You're gonna be so mad.
Ooh. Dirty 20.
I got a dirty 20 also.
I got a big old 15.
Hey, Nev,
Mm-hmm.
this also applies to you.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh wait.
Uh,
Actually
Leave baby
Actually,
girl
though,
alone.
Patrick, I'm sorry. Since I failed that last one, I roll a disadvantage, so I have to roll another one.
You do. Go ahead.
Oh! I rolled a 24 this time.
Hey, Nev.
I
What'd
got
you
a
roll?
17.
Okay. So everyone makes their save. As suddenly Nev just produces a thing that is unmistakably Reaper tech, and doing something like with the Omni tool. Ikade, you actually you recognize the feeling of when something insidious is trying to get in your mind, because you were there when your whole crew was indoctrinated. You didn't actually fall to indoctrination, but you knew the ever-present feeling, the claustrophobia, the like just the needles that kind of press in on the edge of your consciousness. And you immediately see and feel that similar feeling as this piece of Reaper tech is produced. Nev, you find that frequency and you use it to kind of like angle a, what was it? You said invasion?
Mm-hmm. Invasion.
What is the effect of invasion?
It is I unleash a VI controlled like machine swarm on this, and they must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 1d8 psychic damage and has a disadvantage on attack rolls until the power ends. And the creature affected by the swarm can use its action to make a Constitution check to break the DC, to like essentially bypass the DC.
So I rolled a 4 for a giant reaper, so that makes me feel great. Um, so they have a
Thank the gods.
disadvantage on this
Mhm.
roll, and
Yeah. It'll take 15 psychic damage from me.
it's you feel this reaper with the voice of like the booming void, like kind of fill your head and be like, you will be, you know, the dangers that are pressing in from the sides, and what the fuck, and as you send an electronic invasion through this reaper, and it suddenly has to contend with the fact that something is making it feel bad. It's going to make an attack. Tavis actually, man, I mean, I did this with disadvantage, so I should roll again. So let's, and it got worse. It got worse.
Wait,
So,
worse for us or worse for you? There's two different worses here.
Tavis is like, hold on, this will work this time. And Saro, you lend the help action, jumping in the co-pilot seat and allowing Tavis to like really concentrate on the flight. You tell him like fly at it. He's like, "Are you fucking crazy?" And he flies straight at the Reaper, despite the fact that this is not a good idea. And yet somehow the Reaper looms and stumbles. Like you can see it actually with its heavy weight, just misplace entire leg. And the shot, this beam that's like the size of your craft, just fires right over your head, and you are able to like charge the Reaper, getting right up into its barrier and flying up the surface of it where it cannot reach you. You go rocketing up. You feel the inertial dampeners struggle to try and fight the forces of gravity as you're all thrown back in your seats. And the accelerators push to the limit as you rocket towards the sky. You climb and climb and climb and climb, escaping Erszbat and fly into the inky void of space. You see the Octasia off the bow. Cavus is like charging this thing. You can hear the engines whining and like clawing at the diminishing atmosphere, and you fly right into the cargo bay and slam the doors, and you are off safely. I'm going to go ahead and say we need a brief break for that. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
I'm so stressed.
All right. We are back. The crew just narrowly escaped a very dangerous Reaper, and got back aboard the Octasia, and Octasia immediately rocketed off. Um, as you all feel the shuttle come to a halt, you do feel like the Octasia kicking up to speed in order to get out of here. Over the loudspeaker, you hear Vetra calling out, "Our window's kind of closing. We gotta get out now." And you feel the ship lurch toward the Mass Effect relay as it kicks engines into overdrive. Um, the like you can feel the ship rattling itself as you just kick it into fifth gear, and after a few minutes of just rocketing through space, you catch hold of that Mass Effect field and rocket off, traveling at faster than light. Um, and like over the speaker, Vetra kind of like allows herself to give a sigh of relief and be like, "Okay, well, I'd kind of like to talk about what happened. If you all would come up to the debrief for a frank discussion of what we just went through."
Okay, we'll be right there.
I think I start walking and I whisper to Bird, "Did I miss a crew member named Frank?"
Yeah, we had to leave him behind on the last drop.
Ah, he's probably in the Mako that definitely exploded.
Yep, that was Frank.
You bring that up like it didn't explode.
Oh, we should probably get going to the yelling part of the day, right?
Yeah,
we should probably get
we
to the yelling part.
I
Um,
tuck this strange technology back into my jacket.
Akane, I'll say you definitely actually give me a perception roll to see if you clock it.
Let me see. You said perception?
Yeah.
That's oh my god, that's a natty 20.
You see Nev just tuck this piece of technology very close to them. As, like, this isn't something that is extraordinary or a strange occurrence to them. They're putting it in a space that is very comfortable to them and that is familiar. So this piece of technology, it didn't suddenly come about. This is something that Nev has had in their possession for a long time, a concerning amount of time. And with that, you all move to the communications room with Vetra kind of standing over, being like, "Okay, we really couldn't get the play-by-play down there, but there was suddenly a Reaper firing at you guys. I'm a little worried about how that went down and what happened with Cerberus."
They were looking for not necessarily Reaper tech, but who had owned it.
Who owned it?
That's what they were looking for in the museum. They were looking through the files to see who had the Reaper tech before, and to try to find who owns it, and owners of Reaper tech.
I mean, I don't even know what they would do with that. That's just, I mean, a receipt. What possible damage could they do with just knowing who would have possession of this?
Not only that, they knew exactly who we were.
Well,
Yeah.
Saro, I know you like to pride yourself on being a mysterious individual, but you also are employable, so people do find you.
Yes.
It was more surprising for me because I was just a CSEC agent. I wasn't anyone special, and they knew things about me.
I mean, that is true. No one really calls on you. No offense, but you've
None
made
taken.
you made it your thing to not be around.
Yeah.
But also, even though I'm employable, no one's ever seen me.
Huh. Well,
So to
we
know
have to
me
figure
by
out-
my face.
yeah, we have to figure out what Cerberus is working with. You see Vetra turn over to Ikade and Berr. Hey, fellas, you left with a Mako. I noticed that we didn't see one coming back.
It blew up.
I think I motion to Burr and I'm like, okay, hey, I got this. Like, don't worry. Let me talk us through this. I got this.
I gotta hear this.
Go for it.
Okay, cool. So he like walks up confidently to like Vetra and like just like a couple steps away, kind of face to face. And you hear him take like a sharp intake of breath. And he goes, Neveah's Reaper Tech and it's probably in her bra right now.
You see Vetra just like eyes wide, looks over at Nev as like, I'm sorry. Could we maybe expound on that?
And then so Ikade's looking right at Vetra, and then he like takes the same side as Vetra and like, yeah, how about you expand on that? After all of my friends and loved ones died from a thing like this. And just at Burr like,
Saro is wide-eyed, jaw to the floor.
Oh.
Well, as you all know, I was working on the Citadel when Sovereign attacked. I'm going to pull out the little piece I have and gently put it on the table in front of me and say, I found this later and I just wanted to understand what happened. No one was giving us any answers. And so that's what I've devoted my last few years to doing, is trying to find answers.
Now it's why Garrus wanted you.
Nev, could you give me a persuasion check?
Sure, yeah. Yeah. Dice jumped out of my dice tray. It's not great. But I will use convince. I get to add an extra d6
Go for it.
because of all my Paragon points. 13.
All right. Well, let's see. You see Vetra take a breath and just. Okay.
I just want to let you know, like, Ikade's doing like all the same things that Vetra's doing, just like a second later.
You understand that we now know that it's bad to have Reaper tech. I understand at the time that you just wanted information and that you were being stonewalled, but I'm gonna have to ask you to put it down in the cargo hold where we can keep it locked down because it's dangerous.
It also saved our life.
Arguably, I think it's safer in her hands.
She's gonna take a breath and be like, Nev, I need you to look at me right now. And I need you to tell me that you have this under control.
I have this under control.
All right.
I, for my own sake, want to incite that. I know it's a lie, but like, Saro's just like, if I'm on the same level as you, I can defend you.
Yeah, go ahead and make
Is
an
it
insight.
23?
Oh, hey, you can tell that when someone is telling an authority figure what they want to hear,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like me talking to Garrus.
and with that, Vetra's like, all right, so we have to figure out what Cerberus is doing. I think our recon mission is done. We need to get back to Tetris and we need to figure something out with Garrus because things are kicking off and we need to figure out what's happening.
Yes. I would still like to know what happened with the Mako. That's not a moot point.
You see her attention suddenly snap back and be like, yeah, guys, I think that's an important thing that I'm going to have to itemize that we've lost.
I'm just feeling very drained from the squad betrayal that is Reaper Tech right now, keeping it in unmentionables right now. And I don't think this is the time or the place or even setting to even talk about we should probably buckle in because we're getting to Tetris or whatever, right?
Just because you need to relax doesn't mean that there wasn't another person with the Mako that could explain.
If only
Berr.
Frank was here. The Mako, it exploded in transit. We got caught on the wrong side of some blast. We got caught on the wrong side of some fire from Reaper's forces.
Hey, Burr,
Yep.
go ahead and make a deception roll.
Deception? Why? Do you think I'm lying? All right. 14.
Saro, would you like to insight that?
My passive is a 17.
Yeah.
You absolutely know that he's lying.
I have everybody's dirt and I love it. I'm telling Dad.
You don't know what went down, but it definitely didn't just blow up in the exchange of fire. However, with that, Vetra's gonna be like, all right, we're gonna go back to Tetris. Garrus gets to figure out all this crap next because this is above my pay grade. So go do what you gotta do. It'll take us probably about 15 hours to get there, so you're dismissed. And she cuts you loose for you to do whatever it is you'd like to do, or go about the ship and do whatever it is you'd like to do.
Who do I call out on their shit first?
If nobody
Spin a wheel.
stops me, I am going to shuffle towards engineering.
I'm gonna go to Nev first.
I'm
Makes sense.
gonna be in my bunk, but Patrick, I do want to wake up in the middle of the night and do something.
Okay, we'll cut back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Saro, Nev, you're making your way down towards engineering, and Saro cuts you off.
Can I help you?
You have it under control.
I've had it under control this long, and will continue to have it under control for as long as it needs to be.
That was a very placating tone you had with her. I don't mind
I
it.
used to work for CSEC. It's
I
my.
understand.
I'm used to telling people what they want to hear.
I get it. I trust you. And I think that that thing is safer in your hands than anybody else's since you've been using it for so long. And yes, I mean using it. Because you seem to know it pretty well with the way that you used it.
It's first time I'd done something like that, but I understand that it emits a frequency and all of the Reapers use the same frequency, so logic dictates that you could do something with that frequency.
You have somewhere safer to keep it than in your jacket.
When I was back where I used to live, I made a little box for it, but it's not exactly the travel kind.
With the reaction of certain others, I'd find somewhere not on your person to hide it.
There's probably somewhere deep in engineering that it can stay for a bit.
If you need, there's a gun box under my bed that's empty that no one goes in.
Good. Duly noted. If I can't find anywhere else.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a Krogan to go talk to.
Good luck with that.
We'll stay with Nev as Nev goes down to engineering. As you open the door, you hear a cavalcade of Vorcha voices, and amongst it all, uh, Tommy Glover is just shouting, no! Oh, you gotta. I've made it the way that it's gonna run the best, and if you muck about with it, I'm a magician, but I can't fix everything. You're testing my patience here, and I'm glad for the extra help, and I love you, but I'm gonna kill you. He turns and says, "Oh, hey, Nev, what are you doing down in engineering?"
Thought I'd see if there was anything I could help with, among other things.
Yeah, we might have blown a coil on that last run out of the system. We pushed those engines far too hard, and if I could get anyone with some expertise in here, I'd appreciate it if you could take a look at. There's a coil on the backside of the core, and I think we burned through the coat the rubber on it. So take a look, see if you can get it cut out. And he's gonna charge around, trying to get the wild Vorcha under control as they all try and mangle this machine into operating condition. You can actually feel the thrum of the ship have a little bit of like a thump to it because it's been working so hard. If you'd like to make an engineering check, you can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do that. And while I'm working, I want to see if there's any areas where maybe there's a loose panel or something in the wall that I could, just slide this piece of tech in and come back to it at a later time.
Yeah. Give me that engineering check, and then we'll throw a perception check on top of it.
Mm-hmm. That is a 28.
Oh, outstanding! Not only do you reintegrate the coil into the system, you can see the way that the Vorcha operate in a very straightforward fashion, and Tommy Glover operates in a very fantastical fashion where there's a theory about them and they will connect eventually. and you somehow find a way to be the bridge between the two. And you get a machine that both works outside of its purview, but is reliable. So I will give you the stats on that later, but you absolutely like bridge two things together. Go ahead and give me that perception check.
Come here. That is a 19.
Yeah, I'll say you find like a small there's like a backside where a coolant regulator usually has like a gauge.
Mhm.
And it's something that is so reliable that it's usually never checked on. So
Mhm.
you just tuck it in there and you're fine. You're not it's out of the way and out of mind. So we're gonna cut to Burr on his way to wherever it is that he is going to, as suddenly he finds a Drell right before
Yeah,
him.
Burr was kind of on his way to the armory. I don't know if he would have had time to make it there, sort of in between when Saro and Nev were having their own conversation.
Oh, the
Um,
barmery you were going to?
yeah, he was going to the barmery.
Yeah.
The
He
barmery
was,
slash my bedroom?
oh well, then he's 100%. Yeah, no, he can't avoid Saro. No one can.
No, we can't.
But he was actually
Yeah. Go ahead.
he was just gonna like find his own little corner in the barmery. And probably by the time Saro catches up with him, he's like sort of removed the shoulder panel or the shoulder plating on his armor, and he's got like a tool or something in his hand. He's been like subconsciously picking at the painted over family crest, making it a bit more visible now.
Yeah, like you're actually able to get there first, just because Sorrow was waylaid by some conspiracy. And then you get into the bar. Bijou is there and kind of just pours you up a mug of Rancol. Just she slides it over and is just like on the house, and gives you a little wink, and you're able to go over to like a table, get some tools, and start picking at it, kind of secluded. And then suddenly you find Saro sitting at the table beside you.
I didn't even hear you get here.
No one does. I have paint remover if you need some.
And like for a moment, he looks like he just now realized what he's been doing. No, that's fine. Is this your sleeping area or something, or?
He just points to the cot that is like behind like a thing of boxes. I don't really sleep that often, but I guess relaxation area.
Good enough.
So, what really happened to the Mako?
I mean, what, you didn't believe the kid and me when I said it blew up?
I don't believe shit Quarian says. He's too happy. And you are not exactly the best liar either. You're more of a straight shooter from what I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I do need to work on.
No. You're better for it if you're a straight shooter. Leave the lying to the ones that are good at it.
Well, first I need to know exactly how much are you going to tell Garrus?
I'm not gonna tell him anything. If anything, he'll blame me for letting it happen.
Well, as long as I'm off the hook. Look, it wasn't it was more of a coincidental thing.
Hmm.
We got out of that battlefield. We ran into some Batarians. I was going to suggest they get out of our way. But they needed help. They had this big damn monster invading their home. We had a usable weapon. And they had people they had to go save. Probably wasn't the best idea, but I let them borrow the vehicle.
I don't think we're getting it back anytime soon.
Yeah, it was like a long-term borrowing situation.
Just for fun, could I get a persuasion roll from Calvin and an
Yep.
insight roll from Derryk?
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh, what could this mean? Persuasion? 5.
26.
Wow. So close.
Berr, you're not. I mean, the jig is up. He figured out things pretty quick. So you're kind of laying it out. And Saro, I'll say that you kind of detect like there's something a little personal to it. It takes a lot for a Krogan to just abdicate a
Yeah.
something that is in their possession. And you're seeing him talk about Batarians in need, and suddenly he's working on the crest of his armor. There's something there that he's maybe not hiding, but he's not being. There's no reason for him to bring it up at this moment.
I won't prod into the more personal meanings of why you did it. But I won't ever go against helping a subjugated people, as I come from one myself.
Can I say something?
Dude.
Have you ever had a moment where you could have done something, made a difference somewhere, and you chose not to? And after that, you regret it for a long time?
More than you could ever know.
Yeah, that doesn't go away, huh?
No. But we can make better decisions in future activities to mitigate how we feel about it. Which is why you shouldn't lie about it and just say you helped people. Garrus will not be upset if you helped people.
Well, I do have an image to maintain. And besides, wasn't Garrus saying that we should be subtle on this thing? Though that's kind of gone out the window at this point.
Subtlety can kiss my ass at this point.
I think from there we're gonna cut away. You guys go do your own things, and as kind of time lapses, allowing for a long rest, Ikade, you wake up in the middle of the night.
I'm gonna go steal the Reaper tech from Nev.
Hey, you need to make a very high perception check.
I'm gonna steal it, and I'm gonna make a very high roll, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm just checking to see if there's anything that can help me. No, there's nothing. So perception check.
Yep.
Like how high?
Well, they took it with them to a place that you were not, and then hid it in a place that you have no technical expertise in.
Well, no, because
So
I thought the conversation was that she'd put thought to putting it into the box, but didn't do it.
I'll say this. You heard there was talk about hiding it in engineering. But that was very much in passing. So this is going to be a DC. I feel like a 25 is fair.
Damn it. Okay, I got a 17. So I'm just going straight to engineering, right? So I'm just.
You go into engineering and find just a bunch of Vorcha just like crawling around, working repairs and maintaining things. And they're like, "What brings you here, masked one? What are you looking for?"
Can I explain to them like the physical piece that I'm looking for,
Hey,
but
I'm
not
even gonna,
tell them that it's Reaper Tech?
I'm not even gonna have you roll for it because you start explaining it and they start just tearing pieces out of the core. Is this what you're looking for? What about this?
Okay, no, but you should probably put that back.
There's a fervor as they frantically tear pieces from the core for like a good solid 5 minutes, being like, "Now I think I found it." And you back out of the room very slowly, just being like, I think you guys can handle this. So we cut from there. The Octasia makes it back to Tetris. You all board shuttles to fly down to the surface and are escorted to not the museum that you met before, but like an actual like Turian hierarchy like military office station. And you are escorted among soldiers who are moving about in their like very determined fashion. And you are eventually led to like a conference room where you see Garrus conversing with Vetra. And as you walk in, he looks up and he's, "All right, so some things happened on on Erszbat."
You could say that.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't like that I have to explain to the higher hierarchy that I lost a Mako, a thing that I kind of wasn't supposed to have in the first place.
It blew up.
I'm gonna have him roll against you on that. So go ahead and make a
Oh no,
deception roll.
I'm saying that knowing I'm lying. I am letting him know that I am lying, and it's like I'm lying, but I'll explain it to you later.
He's going to sigh and just kind of like pinch the bridge of his nose and be like, "Yep, a Mako went into a war zone and blew up. It's a good cover. All right.
Not a
So Cerberus is looking for not artifacts. They're looking for
People who own artifacts.
Hey, Nev, go ahead and make a perception roll on that.
Sure. Just for my own edifice, did I sleep far enough away that from the Reaper Tech that maybe my indoctrination level went down 1? Because it says like if you spend far enough time away from it, like for.
That's fair. I'll tell you what. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Sure.
Have it be level 2 instead of level 3.
And that is a 15. Because
I believe that makes it.
Yes, it does. Okay, then.
Okay. So go ahead and drop your indoctrination down 1.
Yay!
there's this weird relief in you as you kind of like the anxiety of leaving something of yours behind, but also
Mhm.
strangely, there's a comfort that there's not like this live wire just kind of like vibrating in your brain.
Mhm.
Um, but what was your perception check?
21. I was
Um,
asking because like it was the difference between like am I gonna have to roll this at disadvantage because at 3 I have to make all my wisdom intelligence things at disadvantage.
I gotcha. Okay. No, you are able to kind of piece together. Um, if they're looking for specifically the chain of ownership amongst these artifacts, they don't care if just someone picked it up and then sold it. What they care about is someone who picked it up and, like you, felt the effects of indoctrination and is possibly in a position of power to do something at the whim of the Reapers. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah,
more likely than not, they're looking for people who uh, have been in contact with Reaper Tech for any extended period of time and might be vulnerable to indoctrination.
They're forming a hit list.
Or more of a, I don't know, probably a hit list or who knows.
Garrus stands to the side, puts his hands on his hips, and kind of like stares out the window for a moment. He's like, well, the job I hired you for is done. I'll give you payment and you can leave if you'd like, but I need to figure out how deep this goes because if Cerberus is involved in this, they're playing chess and we've got to block whatever their next move is. Um, anyone who wants to. Um, and before he can finish, he's interrupted by um, a page, a Turian page comes in and is like, uh, we're we're getting a transmission from the Brachus, um, and the Brachus is the ship of Claudius Marce- Marcerian. Um,
Oh
he's
no.
in system. It's he has something important that he needs to discuss. Uh, Garrus, like you can see the frustration wash over him. He's like, I hope you weren't discovered in your time on Erszbat, or I'm about to have a very awkward conversation. Um,
Well, oops.
It might be an awkward conversation.
Didn't
uh,
see any of the Turians, if that helps.
he ushers all the other Turians out of the room. He has enough authority to do that, and it's just you. And he opens up a view screen, and you see Claudius pop up on the view screen, but he looks kind of haggard, and he's like short of breath, and it's like he's like fatigued just by standing there. Um, and Garrus is like, Claudius, it's wild that we're seeing you here. Is there an issue that needs to be discussed? And you see Claudius like shakily reach out and actually grab the projector. He's like, I tried to fight it, but
Oh
it
no.
has more hold than I would like. And then you see a human hand push him out of the way, and Jared pops up on screen. What up, nerds? Hey, so funny story. Uh, we got this scientist looking into a bunch of things about indoctrination, and he figured out a way that Reapers can be controlled. Do you know that? Reapers can be controlled. I mean, they control each other, so it's obvious we can do something with that. But I had a brainwave, and I was like, hey, if Reapers control the indoctrinated, we control the Reapers. Guess what? We got a back door into every government in the system. Boom! All right, well, looks like the Turian hierarchy is about to take a downfall. Hey, Claudius, go ahead and just blow up that satellite thing that you got going on. We're not going to need that. And reports start coming in, just flooding your alerts are going off as the communication array is severed from a high position command. Claudius sent a command over to the communication hub that shut it down. You are effectively unable to reach outside of Tetris for any communication beyond this system. And he's like, all right, well, now that we kind of got that knocked out of the way, why don't we call in some friends, get some Reaper action in here. Tetris is about to take a tumble.
All right, first off, and I think I think Ikade steps up to the screen. All right, first off, Dickopotamus, never say backdoor ever again. It made all of us feel very uncomfortable in here. Number 2, and he turns to Garrus. When do we kill that guy?
His head is mine.
And he's like, I will pay you all the credits that I have at my disposal to end that. Jared's like, hey, bring it on. I'm waiting for you up here. Let's have a party, guys. And just to show that I love you and want to have the best final confrontation with you, I'm just going to go ahead and start blowing shit up. And the craft starts firing on Tetris. All systems are by the authority of a high-ranking Turian individual disabled. You have no defenses as the ship fires down on the planet. And that is where we're going to end today's session.
This guy.
I will take his head. I hate him.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. This has been a pleasure. I am Patrick. I have been your GM, and I will go ahead and throw it over to Calvin.
Okay. Well, hopefully everybody comes back next week to see us destroy Jared, the worst guy in space. I have been Calvin. If you want to see some more fun tabletop RPG stuff, check us out on YouTube at Win with Dice, where we have weekly gaming streams and tabletop RPG podcasts. You can also find me over on the Untold Stories Project channel, where I'm going to be in some of the series that are going to be starting next year. So looking forward to that.
All right. Let's throw it on over to Aubrey.
Hello, I'm Aubrey. You can find me everywhere on the internet at the Mad Queen or Mad Queen Cosplay, depending on the site. I am the technical director over at Queen's Court Games. If you hear music on a thing, I probably helped in some point. I've also played in many of our games, and I've run several things. I ran Mysteries of Ravenswood. It was our Kids on Brooms game. I ran some Pathfinder adventures, and I just wrapped up with Eat Your Young, a Buffy the Vampire Slayer adventure using the official Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG. And I have some really big, cool stuff coming out next year, so keep an eye out. And you can also find me as the GM over on Goblins and Gaze, Tyrant of the Dark Star, our current Pathfinder campaign. Yeah, it's fun, and if you enjoy Bloodborne, you'll probably enjoy Tyrant of the Dark Star. But yeah, anything else, you just check out my socials. I'll have links to.
All right. Let's cut over to Derryk.
When I get you, Patrick. Hi. I've been and will always be Derryk. You can find me out on the interwebs at Derryk Does RP. That's DERRYK DOESRP. Or underneath the guise of the Queers and Spears social media, because if you're talking to those accounts, it's most likely me. That's where you can find me GMing, playing, and doing a whole bunch of queer and gay shit in the TTRPG realm, where we are currently having our Godkiller series, Grave of Grief, go live every Sunday before this. But our finale is coming soon and will be live on January 12th of that series. So join us for that. And I have a whole bunch of other cool stuff coming to Queers and Spears also in the next year. Just keep an eye out where I'll be announcing it. That's it. I've been Saro Miat.
Okay, and we'll throw it over to JPG.
Hi everyone, I've been JPG. I am a pop culture critic. I'm a pop culture educator and consultant. I am the consultancy firm Intermyth, where we help content creators in the pop culture space overcome hurdles that they might be experiencing or just launching in the space in general as well. So check us out at Intermyth or intermyth.org to check out our social media. And you can always find me on all social media at SpeakerJPG.
All right. Well, thank you very much. You've been watching Mass Effect Warp. We'll have our season finale next week, so make sure and tune in. Thank you to all of our performers. They have been fantastic, and we can't wait to see you next week. Toodaloo.